All right, we are live. I have my friend Samir in the
Let's
house.
go,
It's
guys.
always a pleasure to have him here.
So, today we are here, guys. Futures, we're gonna be trading, we're gonna be analyzing, and let's see how this trading day treats us. So, yeah.
Indeed, indeed. Let us know how you're doing, guys. Let us know in the comments. How was your weekend? We got Harish Krishna in the house. How you doing? Always a pleasure to see you here. I personally had a good weekend. I hope you did too. I think Samir's weekend was good as well. So we're gonna see what we can get into. The topic of the week is finding intraday opportunities. So we're gonna, even though you guys see how we approach the market every day here, we're gonna talk about how we do things. I have my way to approach things. I know Samir has his way. So we'll be sharing, how we approach things. As usual, we're gonna run through the indexes. We're gonna run through gold that has been finding somewhat of a low. We've been watching and seeing the dip being bought on gold. So we're gonna talk about that and get into things.
Yes, let's go. I'm analyzing some market here. US 30, of course. I trade US 30 only, guys. If you don't know me, so I'm a US 30 guy. I was drawing some levels on my trading view. And if I see some opportunity, then I will love to share it with you guys. So for now, I was drawing some levels here and there. And let me see how daily candle is. Let's erase everything and let's, okay, let me, okay. Okay, so now let's analyze from the daily time frame what US 30 can do.
Yeah, so Samir is going to basically walk us through step by step how he approaches
Yeah.
the Dow. By the way, you've convinced me. I took a Dow trade last week. I've been
Okay,
slowly trying to get
that's
into other
amazing.
assets. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I don't even remember if it was, I think I lost on it, but whatever. But yeah, I've been starting to trade other assets just so the community can see. But yeah, let's get into your analysis to see how you approach these
Okay.
markets.
Okay. So I was seeing how daily candle close. The yesterday, it is not yesterday, of course. The Friday's daily candle, it closed with a very bearish momentum, and this candle may be making a top wick here to go to the downside. We don't know yet, and we will know by having some confluences in this area. So I will draw some levels. This is my level. I can see very clean level, and this is a decent level. We have some rejections from this area. Let me draw 2 3 more areas so that we can see where price can travel to if in case it breaks these areas that I have here. So the last area will be this. I think today's session can be among these areas. You don't have to draw the whole support resistance on like everywhere. You can draw it what price is where price is trading. These are the nearest areas that I can see. Now going to the 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour time frame, I'm gonna adjust it little bit. Okay, we have a small area here as well. I'm just gonna draw this level like this, and this I'm gonna mark it as green because there is a support area. And seems like my areas are decent only. I don't have to drag and drop to adjust it. Yeah, seems like it is decent. I don't have to adjust it. Yeah. Okay, I can adjust this one to here maybe. Okay, maybe here. Yeah, because we are covering this area also. Okay, so these are my level for today's trading session. Now let's see how price is gonna react from these areas, and we have a small fair value gap also here. I'm gonna draw it like this. Let's change the color of this, or maybe something like this. I'm
So
gonna
while you're at it, Samir, we know what fair value gaps are, but people. the term has been very trendy these days with
Yeah,
ICT,
yeah.
etc. So it would be nice to kind of go a little bit deeper and explain what is a fair value gap and how do you determine where they are on the chart.
That is amazing. You just asked me. The beginners traders who don't know about this term, let me explain it to you here so that you don't have to find it, on YouTube. So fair value gap is very simple. When we have a trendy candles and when there is a gap between these candles, what do I mean by that? When wick is not touching, basically the previous wick, or at least it is retracing. So there is a gap, you are seeing here. So we call this as a fair value gap. Okay. So normally price like to take this as resistance or support area. You can also take help of support and resistance along with this. So that can be the added confluence in this case. So again, when you see a gap between candles, then this is a fair value gap, and on the bullish side we have a small gap here. So this is also a fair value gap. Basically, when wicks fail to touch the previous candle's wick, so then there is a gap between the candles. We call this as a fair value gap. Hopefully I'm
Exactly right.
able to clear this thing.
Yep.
uh, yeah,
There's another name they use very often for these. They call them FEGs, so fair value gap. So if you hear
yeah,
the
exactly.
term
Yeah, yeah.
FVG or sometimes it sounds like FEG, but it's FVG, and
Fair value gap, yeah.
exactly short term for fair value gap. So these are, like Samir's pointing out, areas of interest. Basically,
Yeah,
like he said, you need three candles to find them where the wicks don't touch, and these can be areas of interest, and you can find them both on the long side and on the short side. Right there, because we're seeing black candles, Samir's looking at the
yeah.
fair value gap on the short side, and it's interesting how, as we reverse, the candle wicked in there and was somewhat rejected. So I think we're receiving information there.
Yeah, this is a decent area, but this is not enough. We need
Of
some
course.
entry pattern or confluence to take some trades. So these are some areas from where price may can react from. We don't know if it is gonna break or reject. We need some more information. So on the 4 hour time frame, we have a fair value gap. We have this level right here. Let me again see if I can adjust it. No, it is okay. My levels are completely fine. So now let's go to the smaller time frame on the 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour, we have this wick. We are treating or we are reacting from this area, which is also coming under the fair value gap. Maybe price can reject from here again. Maybe, okay. So we need some more confluence. Now let's draw some trend lines if we have any. Okay, I see this as a trend line area, and price is reacting from there as well. So let's go to the smaller time frame, going to the 30-minute time frame. Actually, on the 1 hour, we have this order block, but again, my area is here, so I will not consider this order block or this demand area, this mid-range demand area. So I will not consider this because my area is here. So I think price can react from this fair value gap that I have here. So I'm
So
gonna
I
skip this.
I just
Yeah.
heard you say another interesting term that is very
Yeah.
interesting is order block. So for those who don't know, we just saw it on the chart right there. What would you say in your own words is an order block? Like what does it represent?
Okay, that's again amazing thing. We are explaining everything from basically we are trying to do beginner friendly things here. So again, what is order block? Let me explain you in some kind of analogy here or some theoretical examples here. When there is a small base and when price impulse and we never touch this area, we never touch this area. So this area is some kind of demand area or order block area. So it can be at the mid range area or it can be at very bottom of the particular leg. So both are valid. In this case, we have some mid range area. If we go to the 1 hour time frame, we saw a pause and then impulse to the upside. Price never touched this area. So that is why I'm classifying this as demand area or the order block. So
Perfect.
if I give you more examples of this particular, something like this, then it will be. Let me find a very clean example so that you understand this in a very accurate way. Okay, we saw a small pause here and then impulse to the downside. So this was a supply area. We saw a small pause here and impulse to the downside, supply area. Again, small pause and impulse, again a supply area. And again, guys, you cannot use this thing blindly. You need some kind of confluence so that you can use this thing again as a confluence in your trade. I don't want you guys to trade off of this just blindly. I want you guys to pair this thing with some other analogies or some other uh, strategy or area that may can use as a confluence. So let's put everything together now. Daily candle, last daily candle is bearish, okay, and price is traveling to the upside, and we have a demand area also here. We have a level also here. We have fair value gap also on the both side. So let's go straight to the 15-minute time frame because this is the major time frame which I like to use in order to take my entries from. Okay, so this was also a kind of a supply area from where price is reacting to. Trend line is there, so I do think we can come to this area. This is FVG on the 4 hour, remember, okay? But now for the entries, how we can plan for the entries? This is my 4 hour area. So I think if we can travel to the 4 hour area and if we can reject from here and print some pattern, then I would like to short here. This is my first case. And second case can be if price straight up come here and print something good, then I will like to buy from this area.
Nice.
And the third case can be if we impulse to the upside and then we print something like this, then I will like to buy from here. I think these are the three plans that I will be having for today. And the fourth plan can be if we impulse way too much and we retested this area, then I will be selling from this area. But you need to wait. You need to see some patterns. I will explain you what patterns I see. Don't worry. So that also you will see here. So these are four plans I have for today. And now we need to see which plan has the most amount of confluences. I think the shorts have most amount of confluences. Why? Because daily candle is bearish. We have fair value. We have supply area from here, and we have 4 hour level. We have trend line also. EMA is bearish. So I think selling. We will focus more on selling today on US 30 rather than buying. But it doesn't mean that we are stubborn. That if we see some very clean pattern that may can take price to the upside, we avoid that. I'm still open for that, but more confluences on this particular asset is to the downside. So let's wait for some kind of price action. I would like to see this liquidity and then price coming under the trend line and I'll see good pattern. Then I will short this pair. I don't want to rush my trades. I have some fresh accounts, so I want to take the best setup for today. So these are the four plans I've mentioned to you. So let's see now how price behaves from this area. Then I will like to explain you in detail like what entry patterns I'm seeing and all these things.
Perfect,
So
perfect, perfect. A lot packed with information there. A lot of terms that our listeners might or might not be used to. I like the way you're approaching. Now I have to remind everybody that today we're gonna have at 10:30 Mr. Powell himself speaking. So it's something to keep in mind. We know that when the Fed speaks, the market can move in different ways. Now we have Harish Krishna mentioning something really quick that I want to address. He's saying I'm using sweep, then BOS, then mark OB, then FEG, then inducement, then plan my trade. So a lot of interesting terms there. So sweep, then BOS. BOS would be break of structure. Then OB is opening break. I can't remember what OB means. And then
I think it
FEG
is
would be
order
fair
block.
value gap. Order block, sorry, order block.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
you go. Then plans your trade. So he is, I think he's maybe trading in a similar fashion, a similar way than how you trade. So very interesting to see there. So I like the way Samir approaches the market. He has different scenarios, keeping his mind open to different possibilities. So, if the price does A, then I'm going to do X. If the price does B, then I'm going to do Z. If the price does
Mm-hmm.
C, then I'm going to do Y. So a very good way to approach the market. You definitely want to have plans and ways you can react to the market. Now, if I could add to
Exactly.
that, sometimes you have multiple plans. You have three plans, let's say, or three or
Mm.
four plans, and then the market does something completely different from what you had in mind. So today, when that happens, I don't know what you do, Samir, but when that happens for me, I usually sit on my hands because when the market does something completely unexpected, nine
Mm-hmm.
times out of 10, I'm going to be FOMOing in, and that's not good. So, usually, if the market does something that I'm not expecting or something that does not fit a certain criteria for me, it's time for me. It's a sign that, hey, I'm completely wrong. I need to sit on my hands, reevaluate, then enter the market. What's your approach
Yeah.
when you have a few scenarios like three or four like
Mhm.
that, and then the market, let's say, completely shoots up? What is the ideal thing to do there? Do you jump
Okay.
in, or do you what? How do you approach that? Because that happens sometimes, especially on days like today when we're gonna have news.
Yeah, that is a very good question you asked me because I think a lot of beginner trader can get some insights from this particular thing. So let's say if we get a huge impulse to the upside or to the downside, will I enter or will I, in my heart, I would be like, am I missing something? I should enter, it is breaking out this, that. But my trading plan is I need to see some consolidation before entering in a trade. So I cannot enter at the impulsive phase. I do need some kind of pause so that I can, take the entry in that particular area or in that particular phase, which is correction phase. That's how I, classify this thing. So if I don't see that, then there is no entry for me. So if it is just straight up impulsing to the upside or impulsing to the downside, like crazy momentum,
Mhm.
then as you mentioned, I will sit on my hands. I will wait for something that I have seen in past. Then I might can, trade in that particular trade basically. So
Very good.
that is what I will be doing. You should not, enter whenever huge impulse is there or something like this. There is a high chance you might can hit a stop loss in that case. So always, whatever your plan is, just wait for that pattern, and then when you see that pattern, just execute the trade, and slowly you will have some data. Then you will know what type of setup is having good probability. All these things. With
Exactly.
experience, you will come to know about this thing. But if your plan is there and the price is doing according, basically price is printing something that you have seen, then I think then only you should execute the trade.
I
If you're
totally agree. I totally
yeah,
agree. Um,
if you're
wh-
seeing something new on the charts which you haven't seen or which you are not familiar with, I think that is the time you should sit on your hands, as you mentioned. So yeah.
Definitely. My point there is, if you're seeing something happening in the chart that you haven't planned for, you haven't tested,
Yeah.
you don't have confidence behind. Well, to me, that is the definition of either over trading, if you've taken a bunch of trades, or more than that, that is the definition of FOMOing, because you're entering the market in an area where you have no idea what's going to happen next. You're just jumping in because you have literally what's called the fear of missing out. You thought, for example, let's say the price was going to retrace and do a pullback, and then because of a news event, price shoots up to the upside. So if you were already in the trade, well, good for you. You're able to capture that move and you got lucky. But if you were not in the trade, it's the time to sit on your hands, because that is the definition of FOMO. Um, you got to remember that, you know, when we're trading, what we're trying to do is get probabilities on our side. So we're going to lose sometimes, we're going to win sometimes, and we're trying to, you know, based on things that we've tracked. So as we can see here, Samir has his specific way of trading. He sets up for the day, and based on what he's seen in the past, he has one, two, three, four scenarios that he think are favorable opportunities for him to take a trade. So the idea is, hey, if you see the opportunity is favorable, then you take the trade. But if you don't see it favorable, and if you see the price doing something completely different, well, that is when you should sit on your hands. Now, I know it is a very hard thing to do, especially when you're seeing the price leaving you behind.
Yeah, when there is
Um,
impulses,
yeah,
then yeah.
it's very hard. It's very hard to sit on your hands. With experience, it becomes easier because at the beginning you think, oh my God, I'm never going to see an opportunity like this again. The reality is these opportunities keep coming back all the time, and they come back even better than they were before, you know? So very, very important thing to remember there. Now, I see Harish Krishna asking, what is the plan today? Well, I'm definitely going to show my plans. My plans are very similar to Samir because we're trading the indexes. My approach is pretty similar to his. So we're going to switch to my screen really quick. We're going to look at the NQ. And I want to look at the ES with you guys because I saw something on the ES that I think is going to affect all indexes, and I want to show it to you. So as usual, guys, we're looking at my screen now. You guys know I use the volume profile and trend lines. So volume profile to find my horizontal levels, and the line chart to find the trend. So basically, what we're doing with the horizontal levels is finding support and resistance. So basically, like Samir was saying, um, you know, demand. And so basically here we saw, if we zoom out, let me zoom out. Let's look at this on a daily chart, daily time frame. We've been trending down for the past months, right? Now we have had a little bit of buying occur in the Asian session on the index, and we've come back. And if we measure here, we've reached maybe the 50% area of the previous, you know, last week's candle. So based on that, I'm saying, okay, we are kind of in a neutral zone here right before the news. So that's what we need to have in mind. We're kind of a neutral area. It could go either way. And we have the caveat that Mr. Powell is going to speak. So now what I do is I come down to my hourly, so very similar to Samir, and then I look and trace my levels. So what I look for is help from the volume profile to look at, okay, high volume nodes, low volume nodes, or high volume nodes where we had a lot of volume at what price, and low volume nodes is where we had a little bit of volume and at what price. And price tends to reverse from these areas or just fly straight through. And then we have our point of control, which is the highest volume interest areas. A few minutes ago, Samir was talking about the order block. So it's very interesting to see that as price pushed up, we pull back to this area, and basically an an amount of orders were placed to continue pushing the price up. So my plan today is, okay, we have our levels and we have our areas of interest. So what are we looking to see? We have kind of a trend going on there, right? Which I trace using the the line chart because to me it's clearer. And what I'm looking for, let me go on the 5-minute chart. What I'm looking for are similar scenarios. Like I say, I usually have three cases: the bull case, the bear case, and the neutral case. The neutral case I usually do not want to touch because I am not a great mean reversion trader. So that means things are going to move sideways. So what are we looking for today? Well, we are looking for a continuation of this trend. So where does it make sense? Well, we can see, is price going to touch this high, pull back around this area or maybe lower. This is our point of control. We have our VWAP there and then continue to the upside. So that would be our bullish scenario. And then, like Samir says, we will look for some kind of pattern and we will look at specific price action to enter. So, for example, if we have that scenario, the bullish case, where we have price go up there and then kind of pull back or do a shallow pullback or maybe a deeper pullback, we will look to see a high volume candle come in, and as price starts to reverse, then we will enter and try to target maybe this previous high or these highs. Now, I want you to notice this candle is a very important candle that happened this morning because, as who said that? I think Void said that. He says, until Trump Twitter finger take over, then yeet. I don't know what yeet means, but here we had a note, I think, from Trump. So I think it was a little tweet. I saw something on, I use First Squawk for news. It tells you the breaking news. And it was a talk about opening the strait, I think. Where was it? That was at what? That was at 7:30. So that was about 2 hours ago. I can't find the tweet, but there was a mention of the strait, and that's when we had this little spike up, then a pullback. So we need to be aware that, okay, we might get those reactions there. So now we have the bull case. Let's now do the neutral case. Well, the neutral case is what I don't want to see. I don't want to see price pull back, then stay below this high, then go a little bit lower, get bought again, and then kind of form this horizontal price action right there. That I'm not interested in trading. So that would be, you know, the horizontal or neutral price action we might get. We might get some of that before Powell's speech. So maybe, you know, 1 hour into the live, we'll see. If we don't have anything interesting, then that will probably be a no trade day for me. We'll see. And then finally, the bear case, which would probably be the best thing for me, because I prefer shorting based on what I've seen on the daily, because, you know, we had this nice buying action since Asia. We've gone up already, let's see, 478 points, so almost 500 points. And what I would prefer is to see some kind of rejection, a break of this trend line, a retest, and then a move lower. And we could possibly target these lows. If that happens, to me, that would be the ideal scenario. So we would get rejection here, just like we had this morning after the tweet. That area is confluence, it aligns with the rejection we had last week, and then we could continue the sell-off. Now, the thing I said I wanted to talk to you about, and I'm going to touch on it really quick because the market is about to open. Let's quickly look at it on TradingView. If I zoom out, let me put this on a weekly chart. If I zoom out, this is the ES, or the S&P 500, right? Since COVID. So COVID is, sorry. The COVID low is right here, right? That COVID low aligns with the tariff low right here, right? This is a daily chart over multiple years, the last 5.5 years. And look at what we've done. We have resisted here. We haven't been able to break this level, which lines up with this previous pocket here. And we are right in the middle of this uptrend channel. So what can happen here? Many things can happen, but it's good to kind of really zoom out and think about the situation we're in right now. We have a lot of uncertainty going on with the Strait of Hormuz. We have been selling off since October, November of last year, and we are right in the middle of the range. So are we due for a bounce? Well, that is entirely possible. We're starting off the week green, so we might see a little bounce back into those levels. Now, why am I zooming out and showing you this? For anybody who swing trades, because we can swing trade on those Fivers accounts, I want you to remember that just because we're reacting to these middle levels right there, like maybe we did back in August or 2024 in April 2024, where we saw, little bounces like that. Well, what happened? We moved down to the lower end of the range. We moved up. We bounced from the middle of that channel twice. So one here, once here. We double top, and then we had a huge rejection. So it's entirely possible for us to see kind of a move like that into here and kind of move sideways and go retest those lows later on in the year, or maybe even into next year. So this price action might last for a long time, guys. I just want you to be aware. Sometimes we need to zoom out and look at what's going on. We have just opened, so let's see what is going to happen. Let me just say hi to the chat. We have Teju Goda here. Hello. How you doing? We have Amar that says, hello, brother. I recently saw your
Hello.
podcast with Morning Star, so you probably know.
Thank you for
Probably know
that.
that person there. I wasn't aware. I'm with a star here. I like that. I'm with a superstar who has fans everywhere. So I am honored.
Thank you, guys. Make sure to leave a nice comment for me on the
There you go.
podcast. And market-wise, we have opened, so haven't seen that huge of a momentum yet. But let's see what price does in few minutes. Again, waiting game, guys. I gave you my areas. If price did something out of the box, which I haven't seen, then it's okay. I'll just not trade today because my goal is I'm here for the long run basically. I don't want to do or pick some home run today and tomorrow or day after tomorrow I don't trade or something like this.
Yep.
So and in event I was talking about in trading, going slow is the fastest way. So I
I
don't
like
want to
that.
yeah, I don't want to risk my whole account. Yeah, maybe I can make some money that way, but that is not sustainable in long run, and I don't want to build some bad habits that way. I've been there, so I don't want you guys to follow that path where you are full margining about the account, and
We've all
that is
been
not the
there.
right approach.
It is
Yeah.
definitely not the right approach. We I think slow and steady wins the race, as they say. The story about the turtle and the hare, etc. The hare is running very fast. He's trying to get to the finish line very fast, but the turtle is going slow and steady and ends up winning the race. Well, I think people need to think about you know when they talk about compounding in trading, your best year is gonna be your the years where you make the most money are gonna be your latter years, right? So the more time you spend trading, the more money you're gonna make towards the end. If you look at somebody like Buffett, he made most of his fortune after he was 65 years old, and the guy started trading in his 20s. Well, maybe even before that, not trading but investing. So the point is, slow and steady wins the race. You slowly grow the account. You don't do anything stupid or crazy, and it should work out. Of course, easier said than done,
Yeah.
because our
And the
psychology.
foundation. Imagine that guy who has followed this path, his foundation, or of course, if you're a boy or girl, his or her
Yes,
foundation is gonna be much more stronger
definitely.
rather than the guy who is who have some bad habits, who is over trading, over leveraging, who just want to make some home runs or this kind of thing. So try to be that guy whose foundation is strong, who can survive in every market condition. That way I want to put it.
Yep. I
Again, waiting game, guys. Yeah.
No, I was gonna add. I think anything in life where you're too in a hurry, it just doesn't happen. Uh,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
funny how I'm gonna make a funny analogy, but it's funny how, let's say there's this girl you're super interested in, you want to go out with her, etc., etc. It's funny how when you don't show interest, usually the girl will be
Yeah.
interested in you. But if you show too much interest, well, they're kind of not interested. They like the mystery. They
Yeah,
like the. So I think treat the market like that. You don't seem too interested,
yeah.
and the
Just
market
take it
will
slow,
will ride you.
Be a calm guy.
Be a calm guy. Exactly. Be like Samir. Be calm.
Be like Dave also.
David gets too excited sometimes and FOMOs into stuff, but we try to
I
do
think
it
that
less and
is,
less.
yeah, that is, that is a part of trading. You cannot eliminate that thing,
Yeah.
but
No,
try to minimize that thing.
definitely. Try to minimize it and keep it at do it. The least you do it, the less it can hurt you. So definitely a good thing to remember there. But let us know, guys. Let us know as usual where you're watching us from. Let us know what you're trading, and of course, as usual, remember to like, remember to subscribe. It helps the channel. And let's see what we can get into today. You guys know I have my pink box as usual for my ORB traders. The price is doing what I want to see so far for a short trade. So as of now, what I would want to see is some kind of pullback. After maybe another 15 minutes, and maybe we could go and target these lows again. But we'll see. Maybe it's not what's really happening, and we're actually gonna reverse long. We got to stay open-minded and give the price a little bit of time to build. Now, I usually have my ORB box. Let me write this there for my opening range breakout traders. We're talking about intraday trading opportunities. So the opening range breakout or ORB is one strategy you guys can try. And the idea is you kind of mark the first 15 minutes of the day, and then once price breaks out of this area, so let's imagine this was the first 15 minutes of the day. So what you're looking for is for price to kind of get out of there and for you to trade. So a good ORB pattern is, let's say you wanted to go short, you want this to
I
break
think
out of
many
there.
people do this thing, right?
Yeah, many
Opening
people
range
do
break.
it. It's very simple to understand. It's very good
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
beginners. Now, I don't know how good the risk reward is on it, but it's a very simple thing to learn. So the easiest thing usually that beginners do is they'll sell this low, and then the idea is you're trying to do like a one-to-one. So you're measuring the ORB, and then you're risking the previous high, and then you're trying to get your profit there, right? The problem with that is it's very simple, but it would rarely work out this way. So if I could add a layer of complexity, is for you to wait for it to break, wait for you to retest this level, and then if you're going short it to the downside, right? It would be like a break and retest type of pattern. Now, the other thing you can do is sometimes it will fake out. So it will break, and then it will come back to about 50% of this box, and then revert lower, and then retest again and move lower, right? So these are a few scenarios you need to keep in mind. If it's a very bearish day, yeah, you will get a straight move down. If it's a slightly less bearish day, then you'll get the break and the retest. And then if it's even less bearish, or let's say if we're going to trend, so we're going to just move down slower, because the slower the move, like we had on Friday, you see how this was a slow move down? Well, when that happens, this is awesome, because it means we're going to just trend all day. When the moves happen very fast and sharp, you tend to have bounces. You tend to have retracement. So if you have a sharp down move, it tends to retrace up. So you might not get a trend day when it's like that. So different ways you can think about approaching the opening range breakout. I personally don't always trade it. Sometimes I do when the opportunity is good, but I definitely use this as a measure to see, okay, how much displacement are we going to have today? So far, we are about 10 minutes into the open, and we've moved about 111 points. So that gives me an idea, okay, how much risk should I put on the table? If we had already moved, say, 500 points in these 10 minutes, then I would be reassessing my plan really quick. We're gonna switch to Samir's screen really quick to see what he's looking at while I continue to run through these charts, and we'll be looking at gold in a few to see
Okay, let's take a
what
look at gold
we can
actually.
see. Sure.
Uh, yeah.
You want me to keep? You want me to pull up my screen, or you wanted to look at it
You,
yourself?
I can analyze gold. I don't
All
trade it,
right.
guys.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Gold, but let's do some analysis.
I want to see your take on gold because I actually took a gold trade yesterday, which was an okay trade, and I'll show what type of trade I took.
Okay,
But
now
I
we are on
definitely want to
the
see your take.
we are on my screen, guys. So let's do some analysis on gold. Going to the daily time frame. Last Friday's candle, bullish, wick down. Now breaking this daily high. Let's see if we can plan some shots from here because this is a liquidity setup to me, and there is some kind of support and resistance also going around this area. Going to the 4 hour time frame, yeah, there is this area, but I don't like this area, the way it is reacting from here. Okay, so we have breached the daily high here, going to the 30-minute time frame. Okay, 15-minute time frame. Okay, EMA is away. Let's see if we are missing anything. Okay, we have 4 hour. Okay, we have a very small fair value gap here, which maybe price can tap. Now let's go to the 1 minute time frame to see what price is doing. Very unpredictable. Moving to the upside, V-shape recovery, consolidation. I have not traded this kind of behavior, so I am staying out from this market. If we tap here, then maybe if I see something familiar that I've traded before, then I might can take a trade here. Why? Because overall bias is bullish based on the daily candle. Okay, we just wigged up. It was a pretty deep retracement, and now we are trying to go up. I do think we can tap this area, and even on the 15-minute time frame, EMA is bullish, and we are printing higher highs and higher lows. So I think buying in this particular session will make more sense rather than selling. I know we have breached the last daily high, but I'm not convinced with this kind of market structure, and we don't have enough confirmation. So I'm staying out of gold, by the way. But if you want to enter, then I do think this can be the good area, fair value gap, and we also have some kind of support and resistance going on here. Resistance. Maybe we can turn this as a support. Okay, we have one interesting thing also. This candle doesn't really have a wick. So these kind of candles, price do likes to make a wick in future. So I do think we maybe can tap this area also. So what is
Be
this area?
which price would that be? 60. I mean, 40.
4497.
4497.
4497.
Nice.
So and 4497 make more sense. Why? Because we have we have a very decent area. This is a support and resistance area. And on the 4 hour time frame also we don't have a wick. So yes, this can be a good area. Yes, I like this buying idea. I would like to take this in consideration. Do we have any trend line? Yes, but I don't think so. We gonna get that deep. If we get that deep, I think trend might can shift. But we can also continue bullish. This is gold, so I haven't really traded that much. So I don't have a good relationship with this pair.
Same here.
Yeah,
Same here. Same here.
but
Gold
let's see what.
gold can be tricky. I think it's the
Yeah, very
asset
tricky.
that can stop you out the most. But when you do catch a trend on gold, when you do catch a good trade, it can really take off. So that's what I like about gold. But finding those trades are kind of tricky. So
Yeah, I
um,
think when gold is in trend, it is really trending well. But when this kind of consolidation is there, then I think most people lose money. and when we was having a very clean trend to the downside. So now we are kind of consolidating on the 15-minute time frame, which most of the traders use. If you are an intraday trader, this time
Yep.
frame is definitely good time frame. On the 15-minute, not too promising price action, so confidence level is not there. If we talk about 15-minute time frame, we don't know what the price is gonna do.
We'll see. We'll see what the price does, definitely. So, when we talk about gold, we think of it like in. I'm gonna switch to my screen really quick because
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
something else I want to show. When we talk about gold, we are talking about a um, protective asset, an asset that people put their money in when there is uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly didn't expect. So if I zoom out, I have it on, and I'm gonna show you the trade I took this morning, and why I'm probably not touching it for a while. So if we think, okay, here's the general view on gold. We had the huge run up, we had the sell off, then we pulled back all the way there to this pocket. We shorted. This was when the declaration of war happened. We moved down, then we kind of moved sideways. This was no man's land when we were trying to find out, okay, what's going on, and then we completely sold off. We had this huge wick there, this blow off bottom, I could say,
Mm-hmm.
and then we've seen some interest back into gold. So this tells us that, hey, okay, gold is starting to get bought. So people are probably considering this as the value asset that it is, where to put their money for protection. The problem there is we still have a lot of uncertainty going on, and we didn't see such a sharp move there. I feel like for you just mentioned a V-shaped recovery there.
Yeah, yeah.
In my opinion, once we had this up move, this pullback, and then this second impulse, this pullback to me looks very deep for something that is doing a V-shaped recovery. In my opinion, if this was very strong, the way I think about it, we would have this impulse, this pullback. This other impulse would have at least reconquered this high, right? And then would have pulled back much higher. So right now, what we're seeing is, again, in my opinion, uncertainty. Now, gold can be tricky. It is definitely possible to trade intraday. I see and I know a lot of traders who do it. So you can look at intraday setups. Today, I was looking at one of my favorite setups, which is a trend line breakdown. So I did take this trade. Unfortunately, I had to get out of it. I got out of it profitably, but it didn't work out. So we had our trend line going up. We formed a high there, which aligned with the previous high. So to me, that was a sign of, okay, we've moved up throughout the session. We probably need to find a pullback. So I was looking for a pullback there, a retest of this area there, which is the point of control on the volume profile, and then a deeper pullback, maybe to this pocket or to VWAP there before continuing up. But that's not what we got. We we got a very, very shallow pullback. We retested this area, and then we just moved sideways for hours. And then we got that impulse there when that little tweet or little message came out this morning that we saw on the index. And now we're continuing to see, okay, rejection, pullback again at this consolidation level. So Samir just showed you a possible setup. We'll see if that happens. But for now, gold, at least for me, is hands off until we can have some more clarity. But gold is selling off right now, so let's see what the indexes are doing. Well, indexes
I
are
do like
moving
this
down.
US 30 behavior. It is not there yet where I want to plan my buys. But let's see. This is also a very decent mid-range demand area.
Let me.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you
I
can
wasn't
pull out
showing your
my screen.
screen. Let's pull up your
Okay.
screen really quick. All right.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay,
No problem.
so I was marking this area. This is a very decent order block or a supply or demand area. In this case, it is a demand area. And 4 hour is looking very, I don't like the 4 hour. 2 hour, we do have a fair value gap there, which is here. So 1 hour, very beautiful demand area. 30-minute, decent area. 15-minute, again a very decent area. Price never touched this area. We don't have a wick here. Okay, no, this candle does have a wick, small, very small wick. Going to the 1 minute time frame, I do like this. The only thing I want now, I want a consolidation like this, and then I'll be planning my trades. Very simple. Now it is in my area, but I want it to go a little bit more lower. And if I see my pattern, I am taking the trade, and then let's see what happens.
Perfect. And if you take this trade, would you be targeting the previous highs? What would be your target if you take this trade?
Let's see if I take this trade. My stop loss size is gonna be around 170-ish point. I think there is a possibility price can travel like at least to this high, or maybe the session high, which is here. So I think yes, I will be targeting this high. Yes,
All right.
I will be.
Perfect. We'll see if we get that. We will hope that we get a nice setup here so we can enter. Let me
We can
just take a
also
look
do
at
like
these
this.
comments. We have Tinana saying hi, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the live. Good morning to you. And then we have Antoine saying gold and Dow don't follow patterns. They do what they do. Well, gold definitely can be tricky, but Samir is a master of US 30 in the Dow, so I don't think he's going to agree that the Dow doesn't follow patterns. So
Actually, if
we'll
you
see.
the patterns that I use on Dow, it works on gold, but not that accurately.
They're not
So
as clean, right?
yeah, they are not the cleanest one. It does play out, but it is not that effective. My win rate is not that good if I trade gold using these kind of patterns. Yes, I maybe need some more confluences, and I can work this thing out, but I don't want to, trade
We don't want
gold.
to waste. We don't want to waste our
Yeah,
PNL on something
yeah,
that we're
exactly.
not used to. I'm definitely looking into trading gold more. On the Discord we had a talk the other day where Daniel, our moderator, was showing a way to trade gold using the Dixie or the DXY index, and he has this indicator that he developed where when the DXY crosses over with the British pound, that can be a signal for you to enter the trade. Well, of course, not right away. So I've been using this indicator to kind of gauge the trade and kind of find out, okay, where can I enter? And so far, it's been 2 wins, 0 losses on it so far. So we'll see. I'm forward testing it, and we'll see how it goes. But definitely, the patterns on gold are not always clean. I find that it kind of trends and then it consolidates for a long time before it trends again. So a lot of false signals there sometimes on gold. You have to be extra patient with it, which I'm not always patient as an intraday scalper. My patience is not always the best, but we'll see. Remember to like, remember to subscribe, guys. Let us know where you're watching us from. And if you have any questions, let us know in the chat. We will address them. We have Powell talking in about 30 minutes. So we'll see what happens with Mr. Jerome Powell, who is on his way out, by the way. We will get a new Fed chair very soon. For some reason, you look fine on the back end, but you look frozen on the front end, Samir. Let me see what's going on
Mic
there.
check 1 2 3. Am I frozen?
No, you're good. You're good now. You're frozen on the app, but I think you're good on the live. So
I think that was the. I remember on that day also it happened with me when you was saying everything is fine, but my side, you guys was frozen.
oh really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, you know, we have the two sides. We have the editor side and the preview. On the preview, you're frozen for some reason, but I just checked on YouTube and you look fine. So all good there.
Yeah. I am
All
not in the
good there.
trade yet. I was, say calculating my stop loss here and there. So I'm not in the trade yet. So
No
yeah.
problem. No trade for me either.
Let's
We're
see.
just
We
selling
are doing
off
on the
slowly
30-minute, 1 hour. Yeah. I
before
think it is.
you were gonna say.
I was gonna say, I think very high likely we're gonna test this fair value gap and this area. So I'm waiting for my pattern. I do like some kind of slow momentum here. I will take my trade somewhere like something like this. I
Okay,
think I can have
perfect.
a better entry. My stop loss. No, I think stop loss is gonna be around 200 points only.
How much how much does the Dow usually move intraday? Do you remember?
Like in good days, it can move 1,000 points also. But
1,000 points. Wow.
yeah, on normally I think like 500ish points.
About 500. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice. You because I've
400,
that's
500.
something I need to look at. I haven't looked at the average daily range or the average true range of the Dow because I realized that the micro Dow is very good in terms of contract size for me to control the risks. When there's huge ranges on the NQ, it's I can take the same trade but using the Dow or the ES. But I don't know. The trends on the Dow are look very clean to me.
Yeah, that's
So
why I shifted to Dow only. I used to
yeah.
trade NAS 100. On
Uh-huh.
CFD, it is named as NAS 100.
Yeah.
I know on futures it is NQ. So I used to trade both of this. So I found out my win rate is more better on US 30. Why not to just trade US 30 only? So, by the way, I do like this trade because I just pulled out the RSI also. We are seeing some divergence. So I do think if we break out of this trend line with a good volume candle, I might can take a trade here. Yes.
We'll see. We'll see.
If
We'll
if
see.
we liquidate this just a little bit, that will give me even more confidence, because remember this is a fair value gap. So I want that thing to happen, and if it closed above, I am gonna enter here. But I do want this liquidity move here, and we will be tapping that fair value gap. So yes, I will be taking the trades, and yeah.
We'll see what we get. We'll see what we get. Pretty nice sell off here on the Qs so far. We are down almost 1% on the Nasdaq, so down 229 points. We're moving down there, and then on the ES we're down about 52 points, so almost 0.83%. So nothing out of this world. But we are selling off ahead of the talk with Jay Powell. So we'll see what happens. So we have Antoine saying if you compare the Dow with other indices, it's a different beast. I think Antoine is not a friend of the Dow, is what I'm kind of reading in between the lines here. But we're gonna stay open-minded. We're traders. We need to be able to trade anything. So let's see. Now, I'm going to quickly touch again on gold because I had a question this morning regarding gold. So we need to remember that futures contracts expire. And if you were trading the GCJ, right, you're going to see that the price action here was kind of weird. You're getting some weird prints. But if you compare it to the GCM on the 1 minute chart, also, the prices are complete. Well, why is that? Why is that happening? Easiest way to find the answer, and we're seeing a little bit of buying here on gold. Easiest way to find the answer is to go to your trading view chart and then find the GC contract, the continuous one. And if I go on the 5 minute here, you're going to see that last week on the 29th, we went from GCJ 2026 to GCM 2026. What happened? Well, we had the previous contract expire
Can
and
you
we
can you
moved
please
on
repeat
to the
this
next
thing?
one. Sure,
can you repeat this thing? Yeah.
sure. Well, let me go black on Black Arrow.
Okay.
So this morning I had a question. There was a trader that did not understand why he was looking at
Okay.
GCJ,
Okay. Okay.
and we know that for the name says the GC is the asset, the J is the month when it expires, and 6 means 2026. So this contract uh, got to expiry, and the traders rolled their contract, so they reopened them on the next month's contract, the GCM 2026. So that's why here we're not getting much volume, but here we're getting volume. So if you don't know when they expire, there's two ways to find out. The easy way is, well, let me check out it seems like we're getting some buying action here on the indexes, which is nice. Let me see. All right, almost a full move here. All right, let me get back to that. So yeah, the easy way to see it is to go on TradingView, and you look at this little symbol here with the arrow, which shows you the contract switch. And you can see, okay, we're going from J 2026 to M 2026. So different contracts expire at different times. For example, the indexes, they expire quarterly. So if we look at the Dow, for example, we're trading the right
I have
now.
a I
We're
have one
trading.
question. Like,
Yep.
if we have to place a stop loss in like futures platform, do we
Mm-hmm.
use sell stop or buy limit? I'm in a buy right here.
Sell to put a stop loss. Sell if
Yeah.
you're in a buy, you put sell stop.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
if
Thank
it's
you. Thank
on
you.
Black Arrow, no problem. You
Okay. I'm
would.
gonna be. Yeah. I'm gonna buy here. So as I
Yeah, I like
mentioned,
this buy as well.
I wanted um I wanted it to take out the low and break out the trend line. So it happened. So
Let me just
yeah, I
show
took a buy here.
your. Let me just show your screen real quick. So Samir has entered his trade. He saw what he needed to see. We saw the break on the Dow, and he entered. And it is looking interesting to me, so I'm going to start scaling in as well. Because we were looking for similar trades, him and I. If we get rapid buying, that would be good. If not, maybe we will form kind of a little double bottom there, and I will look to add to my position. Yeah, so what I was saying is, futures contracts expire, and the easy way to find the expiry date is by looking at the trading view, like I was showing there. But that's why you're kind of, as the expiry date gets closer and closer, you're gonna see less and less volume on it and more volume on the new contract. So let me just show you really quick on Black Arrow. Let's look at Black Arrow. By the way, I'm in a trade there. So if you want to see, let me go back to gold. If you go on the DCJ and you press spacebar, you're going to see that the next contract is the MGCM. So it's easy to determine, okay, which one is the current one. You see current, and then you see next, and you can determine which contract to use. So both Samir and I are in trades. We're going to see if the volume can come in and if we can get that retracement back to the upside. Now,
Yeah,
I
I do
will.
think we can target the London high of today. What do you think? Can we target
Well,
that?
I don't think we can target the high either. I'm targeting maybe half of the range.
Okay, okay,
So I'm targeting probably this area right there, which
okay,
is
okay. Makes
around the previous point of
sense.
control, because we're gonna have news in 30 minutes. So we might see some weird moves there, unless we move up really fast and we hold up there. Maybe I'll hold. I want to kind of wait to see, are we going to, really move up really quick, or are we going to kind of slide down a little bit more? And I will look to add to my position around these levels. This way I'll have a couple contracts in, and maybe we could like sweep this previous low here and kind of revert back to the upside. So if we get that, great. If we don't get that, well, we'll get stopped out and try to find another opportunity. But that's what I'm looking for right now. So I've scaled in, and I'm looking for a move similar to what Samir is doing. And it looks like we're kind of gonna get what we're talking about. We don't want this to move down too sharply because that would negate the trade. So we'll see what happens there. If we get a move down with a wick and increased volume, that is definitely what I want to see. So there, I want to see a wick. I want to see a sharp move down and then aggressive buying. This way, we could possibly revert to the upside. So we'll see what happens there. There is definitely room, and I have a level of interest here at the 23,427. I'm gonna risk about one. I'm risking 2.5 R today because we're in a good position. So we'll see. We will see what happens. Antoine saying I'm not a friend of the Dow at all. Almost blew my account past twice. All right, well, be careful. Be careful. If it's not your asset, it's not your asset. So no problem there. No problem at all. Remember to like, guys. Remember to subscribe. Remember, we are doing this for you. Analyzing those charts, taking those live trades, and showing us how we do what we do. And while we're doing it, trying to stay disciplined, trying to stay concrete, and show you the right way to approach the market. You're getting different perspectives from different traders, and those likes really help the channel. We do this for you, so yeah, and we're grateful to have you. Grateful to have you. All right, we're seeing what we want to see. We're seeing some buying here, so this is looking good. We're gonna see if we can sustain this. And
if you go on the 1 minute time frame on Dow, I see a very clean inverted head and shoulder. And again, I mentioned this couple of times, if I see this kind of pattern, then it is good actually. But we need to break that actually on the 1 minute time frame. So this is inverted head and shoulder to me. So if we break that, I do think we can at least tap this area, and who knows, we can target the London highs also. But my 1-to-1 is here, somewhere around here. So I just want this. So yeah, let's see. But if we have momentum, then I might can trail my stop loss today. I don't normally do it, but this range is very clean. So I'll try to aim for 1:1.3, but 1:1 is what I look for. Let's see what we get today. 3 minute is also looking decent. Yeah.
Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. I'm seeing some buying. We're seeing what we want to see. So yeah, me personally, I don't want to hold this into the news, just because different from Samir. Huh?
Yeah, I'm fine with it because
yeah,
I have noticed if I'm in the right position, I do hit my target.
Perfect. So we're seeing some increased buying here, which is what I want to see. So far looking good. We're gonna add, I'm gonna mark it in. I just added my second contract. So we are fully into the position right now. Now we're gonna just manage the stop to manage the risk. I'm usually risking about 50 points per trade. So we're in. Now we want to see this move sharply. And if we get that, great. If we don't, then we don't. Now, me personally, I'm looking for, let me just share this really quick. All right. Yeah. So I'm looking for, a retracement to at least this area, for me to take, as I usually call it, my payroll, and maybe I'll hold
Yes,
the
payroll.
second contract. I'll take the payroll and I'll hold the bonus. That's why I wanted to get two contracts in, so I can get one TP and then hold the next one into the news and see what happens. So we'll see. We're seeing the buying there. It's not as aggressive as I would want. I have the 5 minute and the 1 minute side by side. If I put on the 15 though,
You are in
we
the you are in both of the okay, you are in MNQ.
yeah, I'm in
You are not in
the
Dow, right?
I'm not in Dow. I'm not in
Oh,
Dow.
okay, okay. I thought we
Um,
are in the same position.
no,
But
no, we
I
don't have
think
the same.
they move some kind of they have some kind of similarities. Not like
Definitely.
every tick is similar, but they have some kind of similarities.
Yeah. And I have very light hands today. You see, I'm seeing rejection here that I don't like. So
Hmm.
if I don't see the continuation that I'm looking for, I'm happy to exit this trade and then wait until after the news to take my second trade for the day. I know Samir does only one trade a day, so that's perfectly
Yeah.
fine. I've brought my trades down to two trades a day just because I couldn't do just one trade.
Yeah.
so so yeah, we'll see what happens there. We got a little bit of rejection here, so we're saying buyers and sellers fight. So yeah, we'll see. We want to take a one-to-one trade more or less. We'll see what happens. We have about 20 minutes until the news, so we'll see. I just saw Louis come in. How you doing? How you doing?
Hello,
Let
Louis.
us know, Louis. What are you
Louis is
trading
from our
today? What'd you say?
Louis is from our CFD channel also, so
Nice,
he's a
nice,
regular
nice.
viewer. Welcome, Louis. Thank you again for supporting us here in the Fibers Futures. Means a lot to us. So yeah,
It does, it does. We're always happy to see traders come in and support the channel because we're doing this for you guys. So
let's go,
so far
guys.
so good. We're moving up nicely. I'm looking at the time. While this is moving, I want to take a quick look at gold to see how gold is moving. All right, gold is moving interestingly. We're back to this previous consolidation area that we had during the pre-market. So we'll see how gold reacts. Gold has been behaving like the indexes lately, and we kind of want it to move opposite the indexes, being a safe haven asset that it is. We don't want them to move in tandem. So we'll see. All right, so far we are moving nicely. I'm gonna manage my risk. So for the first contract, I'm gonna gradually trail this stop there because we could get a sell at any time. An area of interest, an area of concern is right here at that 23,392. If I was a short seller, that is where I would be thinking of starting to scale into my short. So this is definitely an area I'm going to keep an eye on. So we will see. We will see how the selling reacts to that and what we need to do. So a position we don't want to hold for the news. So we'll see what happens there. I'm trying to get a one-to-one on this trade. So one-to-one would be right about, we're almost there actually. Would be right around this area. So that is where I will most likely take off my first contract, and then I will hold the rest into the news. What are you thinking, Samir? How's your trade looking?
I am just little bit above from my entry. It is going in my favor, but not that impulsively. I do want a huge impulse to the upside. So let's see what we get today. And
Definitely.
again, we have news also. So let's see. I do like some
Indeed.
areas which price is trading on, and there is an inverted head and shoulder also. I would have entered this trade 110%. If I wouldn't have traded that trend line break, I would have entered now at the inverted head and shoulder break. I'm following my plan. Now, I rest of the things are not in my control now. The thing that I can control is my risk, and I can follow my plan. So I have done my, my what do we call that? I have done my job for today.
Yep.
So now it is totally on market.
It is on the market to do what it's going to do. So our job is to take sensible trades, take trades that make sense, and then the
Yeah,
rest
exactly.
is in the market's hand. So we will see what happens there. All right, we're seeing a reaction here on the Nasdaq, and it is not the reaction I would want. This is where I would definitely, if I was a short seller, I would be selling. So we'll see what happens with the asset. We didn't see the aggressive buying
Yeah,
that we wanted to see.
I'm gonna be holding this trade. TP or stop loss. Let's see what we get today. It's Monday. I've noticed Monday is like 50-50 for me. But if I follow my plan, if I look for more confirmations, so Monday is a decent day for me. So I have done my job again, followed the structure, liquidity, order blocks, trend line, whatever I could have done. Again, I will say. So now rest. Let's see what the markets gives us today. Let's
Definitely,
take a look
definitely.
at NQ you was trading. Okay, we are on the buying area on my chart on NQ. Now let's put the 1 minute time frame. Not that promising pattern, so I wouldn't have uh, gotten involved here. But let's see if we print some consolidation here and then a breakout, that will be good. But right now, if it showed a push to the upside or to the downside, I cannot enter here because this is not my pattern. And I know many of you trade gold also, so let's see what gold is trying to do. Okay, gold is at that area that I've marked, which is 4-hour fair value gap, and which is a 4-hour support and resistance area also. Going to the 2-hour, 1 hour, um, it is not, we don't have that much information. Going to the 15 minute, not that information. That will be good if we break this low. Yes, that will be good. We can add more confluence to this trade, which means this is a liquidity move. And then if we see some consolidation pattern, then you can expect the move to the upside to these highs. So yeah,
Let's look and see. I have flipped my bias just because I didn't see the continuation that I wanted to see. I might be wrong, but the aggressive buying that I wanted to see, I did not see. So I'm going to share my screen really quick.
yeah,
Again,
yeah.
I might be totally wrong, but I flipped my bias right now. Again, I said I would have paper hands today. So what I was looking for on the Nasdaq was a break, like Samir was saying. Let's look at it like this. Was the trend line break, and then we had the pullback. So basically, not quite a sweep, a lower high there. And I was looking for really an impulsive move to the upside. But as I saw increased selling here with volume, and I didn't feel the strength there, and this area corresponds to where I would have probably entered short if I was doing sort of those opening range breakout. I flipped short. Now, I might be totally wrong, and this might just be a pullback where we're kind of developing a trend here, and then we continue to the upside, right? I might be totally wrong, but because I didn't see the aggressiveness, because there is uncertainty with the news coming, and because we didn't quite reach this level I had here, that is the reason why I flipped short, and we will see what we can get today. So as this moves in my favor, I will gradually move my stop loss, um, and yeah, we'll see what happens. We are seeing some buying here. We're seeing the aggressive buying, so it's entirely possible that this might reverse again, but we'll see. If this works out, great. If this doesn't work out, since I inverted, this will count as my second trade, and I will be done for the day. So let's see what this looks like on a 5-minute chart. This might have just been the pullback that Samir was talking about, and we might be continuing to the upside. So if that happens, well, I was wrong, and we are done for the day. You're muted, Samir?
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right,
Okay.
now you're in.
So yeah, seems nice. Price created some kind of resistance. You are in shorts, and 1 minute time frame is also not looking that promising. That may can take price to the upside yet. So yeah,
It's
I don't
uh
think
it's a it's
that's a good trade.
50-50. Honestly, it's 50-50. So we'll see. It's not the best. Like, we didn't have the continuation on this 1 minute time frame, so this candle was bought right there at this previous low. So we might be totally, you see how, we kind of pulled back here, and then we did that impulse there, but here this was rapidly bought on volume at that previous pocket there. So it's entirely possible that we're kind of forming a little let me just show you guys here. It's totally possible that we're forming a little trend here before the news, and that we pulled back, and then we're gonna maybe continue and take out those highs, take out this high. If we take out this high, I'll be stopped out, and continue to the upside. That's entirely possible. Now, since I didn't see the strength I wanted to see, that is why I flipped short, but I'm not seeing the aggressiveness I want to see to the downside either. So it's really
Yeah,
50-50 right now. We don't know.
we are in a 50-50 situation, me
We
and
are
you
in a
right now.
50-50. 50-50
Yeah.
situation. It happened to me the other day with Steve, where he was same situation happened. We were both long, and then I didn't see what I wanted to see. So I'm usually I'm okay with flipping short if the price is not developing the way I want it to develop fast enough, and we were like, okay, we'll see which trade works out, because I was saying it's funny sometimes how you can both be one can be long, one can be short, and you both lose, and then one can be long, one can be short, and you both win. So anything can happen. Well, buyers have stepped in, and I'm probably going to be proven wrong on this trade. So we'll see what happens there. The good thing about taking one single trade a day like Samir is that you don't have to do too much overthinking. You're in the trade, and if it's
Yeah,
your
you
day, it's
just
your day.
make your buys, draw your areas. If you see your pattern, you execute the trade, and I think that is it. Just follow your plan.
Yep.
Trade. In my case, I trade patterns, trend lines, some kind of liquidity, order blocks, this kind of things. Some support and resistance areas also. If I'm seeing the confirmation, so I'll just take the trade. So yeah, sometimes I take two trades also, but I should not take two trades. Sometimes I do take two trades, to be
Hey,
honest.
you're a big guy. You know what you're doing, so it's okay if you take two trades.
Yeah,
It's okay if you take three trades, as long
yeah.
as they make sense.
It
Um,
should meet with the. I mean, I should not take some impulsive trades. I should take the trades that fits my plan. So
Definitely.
yeah,
Definitely. It's important not to take those impulsive trades and trade what makes sense to you. But I trust you, Samir. I think you don't need to be too hard on yourself if you take one or two trades instead of
yeah.
your one
I
single
think
trade. It's
yeah, you were
okay.
right.
It
I
is
think
okay.
yeah, it's okay.
The other day we were talking about how when you take a trade and it doesn't work out, you're kind of paying for information. And I think it's a good way to approach the market. Is that okay? If you're taking a trade and it's not going in your favor, you're just you just paid for some information in the market instead of calling it a loss. Yeah, it is a loss, but you've just found out something about the market that maybe your bias wasn't right, or maybe your bias was right, but you entered too early. So I think sometimes you take multiple trades and you're just paying to find out what the market is trying to tell you until finally you get the trade you were looking for, or maybe you discover something new and you get a completely different trade. So yeah.
I do want some impulsive candle to the upside on US 30. Let's see what price does. Right now, we are seeing kind of 50-50 momentum, maybe because of that speech that we're gonna have in about 5
Yep.
minutes.
Indeed. And
So, yeah.
I'm definitely gonna close my trade before the speech, whether or not it hits my stop loss, because unless I'm deep in profit, because we get some weird reactions there, and like we've been saying, it's 50-50. We don't
Yeah,
know
exactly.
what is going to happen. So yeah, I don't necessarily need to pay for that information. And if, since we were talking about FOMO, let's say, I get out of the trade and it moves completely in my favor. I am not going to FOMO in, guys, because it was not part of the plan. It was not part of the plan to hold the trade during the speech unless the trade had definitely moved in my favor. I had already taken my first TP, and then I would have left the rest. But right now, things are, moving sideways 50-50, like we just said with Samir. It's not part of the plan. So we will get out before the news happens. And, if it goes in the direction, well, I'll be happy to know that, okay, we had a good reaction, but it could completely move the other way. And we don't want that. There is always, remember that. I used to not know that at the beginning, but there is always, always, always opportunity in the market. You want to be able to trade tomorrow. So yeah, keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. Let us know what you're trading, guys. Are you going to trade during the news or not? We have the news coming in about 3 minutes. So let's see if we can get a nice move in our favor, and then a complete reversal so that Samir can get his win today.
The pattern looks decent to me. That inverted head and shoulder, way too clean, like picture perfect example that we see in a theoretical chart. So it was clean. Now it is probability. I cannot do anything.
Yep. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We just have to wait and see. So when I was talking about the reason why I flipped short, if I can say it again,
Yeah.
so you guys can understand, is this morning we were talking about opening range breakouts, and let me put this in a cleaner chart. So we were talking about the ORB. So 945 is here, right? And then the open was here. The reason why I got out of the trade, let me take my first TP. Let me put this managing the trade really quick, guys. All right, so we took our payroll. All right, I'm gonna close this trade because I won't be able to focus. All right, just one R for today. We're good. Now it can just explode to the sky and give Samir his profit.
Yeah.
So, so opening range breakout. The reason why I took the short was because this was our box. This was the opening range, right? And I said, well, when we have this opening range, different setups you can look for are a break, and then you short the break, and you're looking for more or less the same distance for your TP. So you're looking to take your TP there. So I'm going to copy this box, put it right there.
Actually, you are showing my screen, so you have to
Oh,
put
sorry.
yours.
Sorry. I keep
Oh
forgetting that
yeah.
I need to switch. Yeah, I got
Yes.
out of the trade. I didn't show you guys, but we got a quick 1 hour win today. Yeah, so the reason why I flipped short was we got the I was saying this morning that if you're trading an ORB, an opening range, you can short as it breaks the range, right? But a better way to do it is for you to wait until it breaks the range, for it to pull back, which is what happened here, and then you short, right? But what both Samir and I were looking at was that we had a little trend there that I'm going to put in blue, right? We had our little trend there, and we broke out of the trend as we got to 50% of the range, right? So that were that the many checks we had in our favor were what? We've been trending up. This looked like a pullback. We moved down, but we did not move down sharply. We got to about 50% of this range, and then we started breaking out of this little downtrend there. And as we started breaking out of this trend there, we got two key volume candles. One volume candle there that was higher than the previous volume candles with a wick that showed us, okay, maybe we're getting a blow off bottom. And then we had a huge candle superior to almost all of the previous candle telling us that, okay, buyers were stepping in, right? And shorts were probably covering. So both Samir and I had the same idea and decided, okay, we're going to enter long and continue there. Now, we entered long, and then I said, okay, we might, since we didn't see a lot of aggressive buyers here, we might pull back and do kind of a double bottom, or we might kind of sweep these lows before we reverted to the upside. So that's when I entered my second contract. Now, what we wanted to see was a really impulsive move to the upside, and we wanted to break these two areas of consolidation. What happened is I started seeing some selling here. And that selling corresponded to the area where if I was going short at this previous low, so basically if I move this to here, I would start scaling in and get short there. So that is the reason why I flipped my bias and decided, oh, I'm going to go short. But on the short side, we did not get continuation either. I shorted here, flipped short, and then on that impulse there, we didn't see any follow through with the volume, and we closed higher than the previous low. So that told me that, okay, we're moving sideways for now. We're not seeing the price action that we wanted to see. So I got out for the win, which was good, but the price action was a little bit messy. So again, keeping an open mind, not sticking to, at least in my case, because I'm taking multiple trades and I'm scalping, which means I need to see price move in my favor fast. We're holding trades for 10, 15, maybe 30 minutes. So we need to see price move in our favor fast. And that's why I did what I did. Now, news has started. We have some questions there.
Let's
Trade
see what
specific.
we can see on financial juice. I think they can give the updates like
Sure.
of the speech.
You can look at the, no problem. We can look at the updates of the speech. I can load first quack there, but I want to address these questions really quick.
Yeah.
We have, I'm going to pronounce it. I'm not going to pronounce it the way I want to pronounce it. I'm going to say Scheider 123123 because I wanted to say it another way. He says, hey guys, what's the advantage of futures? Well, there are multiple advantages of trading futures. Now, there's different ways to approach it. I'll give my take, and then maybe you can give your take, Samir. But I've traded stocks, I've traded crypto, I've traded futures. I've never traded forex, but the advantage for me, the first thing that got me trading futures was that I didn't look have to look around for what was moving during the day. So when I used to trade stocks or small caps and stuff like that, I had it's good because you have 8,000 plus stocks. So you have 8,000 plus options of things to trade, but they all kind of trade differently. And you have to kind of scan every morning and find, okay, what am I going to trade today? And there was a time where I traded Nvidia for a long time and I traded Tesla for a long time and found success there. So it was good for me to only focus on certain assets and get to know them. And that was the NQ and the ES for me. So I knew every day I'm going to trade the same asset, and that is what I'm trading. I know how it moves, and it worked better for me. The other thing I loved about futures is that you have built-in leverage. Um, you are basically buying um, a large contract size with a very small um, how could I say that? Your the notional value of your contract is very high, and you only need to front a small amount of capital to be able to buy it. And I like that because the leverage is built into the contract. The the futures contract doesn't have to make a huge move in order for you to make a profit. And when you're trading intraday, that is awesome. So for example, when you're trading stocks, you have to buy a lot of shares. If for example the stock is going to move 20 cents 30 cents during the day, you have to buy thousands of shares to make a decent profit. Whereas with futures, you could buy one, two, three contracts, and here we're trading micros to keep our risk under control, and you can make very very good amounts of profit there. For example, on the NQ, it's $20 a point, so that is a great advantage in my opinion. I don't know if you have something to add, Samir, on what is the advantage of trading futures. Maybe you can compare it to forex because you
Actually,
traded
yeah,
forex, but I
I
haven't.
want to cover the psychological point of
Nice.
futures, because in forex it is open 24/5, right?
Hmm.
You can take a lot of decisions. You are bound to make a lot of mistakes that way. It is just my opinion. So in futures, the market open is at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and I don't know when it closed according to Eastern time, but Indian time it is 2:30 a.m.
It,
So I am
yeah.
bound to take only one or two decision in this particular time window. My chart time is less basically, so I cannot make so many decisions. But the forex side is, it is open 24 hours into 5, of course, and we have many assets. There are major pairs, minor pairs. I know on the future side also we have stocks here and there, but the major ones are like US 30, NAS 100, and SPX 500, and of course the future names are different. So the psychological point is that this, when your chart time is less, I think your performance can be better because you only have to take one or two decisions in that particular time window. And the other advantage I will consider is we have only one phase. I'm talking about the prop firms. So,
Yeah.
we don't have two phase accounts. There is just one phase. You just pass it with the risk management. You don't have to, you just get your live account after, passing your phase. So I think
So
these 2 points are really good when it comes to future.
yeah, very good. I'm so glad that you touched on the psychological side there. And by the way, I'm gonna put your screen back on because I think they're probably tired of seeing my screen since I'm out of the trade,
Yeah.
but you're in yours and you're looking good. I think the psychological aspect is great, and I love that you touched on it. So yes, in
Hmm.
the U.S., the New York session opens at 9:30 a.m. Eastern and closes at 4 p.m. So basically a work day. And I like the fact that I had a set time to trade. So I traded
Hmm.
crypto as well, and crypto is 24/7, and you're waiting forever for setups to come. And sometimes the setup can come up at 2 a.m. while you're sleeping. which can give, the 24/7 is good and bad. If you're a swing trader, is great for you, but I'm not primarily a swing trader, and I love that aspect about futures where you have a set time where okay, all the volume is coming in, the big moves are going to happen, and you know when you can trade, or you can select a specific session. Is it Asia? Is it London? You have set sessions where okay, the New York session is where we're going to get huge moved. But if that's too much
Yeah,
for you, you can go and decide, I'm going to trade London because, sometimes we can catch great trends there. If that's not good for you and you want to trade mean reversion, you want to trade very small ranges, you want to really scalp a lot maybe, well, you trade the Asian session. So I think that's another great aspect of trading futures. But you don't have to limit yourself. You could trade anything you want. I found success trading that, and so yeah,
I'm new to futures, so I think these 2 points that I have covered, it is really good when it comes to future.
definitely, definitely. We have traders who keep saying remove background noise. I'm not sure what you're talking about here.
I
Um,
think
is it on my end?
you was having some name there. Let me share my black arrow screen. I'm in the same trade in my all the platforms that I have available, like my
Nice.
Fivers account and future side also. So this trade you can see on TradingView because it is easy for me to analyze on TradingView. So
Yep.
once this trade plays out, so we are not seeing that good momentum right now. So I'm not liking this behavior, and we are also having some kind of speech. We all know.
Yeah, we
So
have this
let's see.
speech from Powell going on right now. I didn't check if we. Okay, so I have some highlights from the speech, and let me just bring them on the screen right now. Give me just 1 second. So we had Fed Chair Powell says it's logical that there's no consensus right now. I think Powell is ready to be done. Let me just share my screen. We will be able to see, but things are moving to the downside right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, Fed Powell saying it's logical that there's no consensus. Conflict between goals. So there's conflicts between the Fed's two goals. So I'm sure he's talking about bringing the inflation rate down to 2%, and not having to hike rates. So kind of conflict of interest there. And yeah, that's about it. I think the speech, and that's why I'm not even putting it, it's probably going to be, as usual, very muted. We have to know that Powell, at least in my opinion, Powell is on his way out. I don't think he wants to ruffle any feathers. He just, in April, we're getting a new Fed chair, and that's going to be a whole new ball game. So we'll see what happens there. But I think it's going to be fairly muted. Um, and we might
Yeah, we
not
don't
get
have.
a strong reaction off the market. Maybe we'll get it after the speech.
Yeah, I think that is a big possibility.
Yeah, but yeah, so far we are moving to the downside. And like I was saying, guys, this is exactly what I was talking about. So I can show you really quick. Let me bring back
Hmm.
the executions. This is exactly what I was talking about. So I entered the short over here, right? When we kind of reacted this to this previous level that I had in mind, and flip my bias. Now, this was right before the speech, so only got maybe, let's see, only got 25 points there probably. Yeah, about 33 points, 25 on average since I had two contracts. But now the trade would have definitely been moving in my favor. So from the entry to right now, it would have been 80 points, and we're probably going to get to 100 points. This is what we were talking about this morning, where you should definitely not FOMO into the trade. We were in a trade that was profitable, but the plan was we don't want to stay in the trade. while the news is going on. So we got out, and we're just happy to see that. Okay, the idea is working out. We're not happy because we don't want it to stop Samir out, but we definitely don't want to FOMO into the trade right now. I have trade with Sakib saying yes, ORB is the most simple and easy way of making quick money. You need to trade ORB with proper risk management. For me, 1-to-1 on M5, so 5-minute RR is best, and it works in almost every session. Well, awesome. That is great. I think the ORB is a decent way to approach the market if you know what you're doing. Um, it can definitely be a setup that can you know print you some money, for lack of a better term. But you have to know what you're doing. Now, what's I think the best thing about the ORB is that it happens every day. So you're gonna see an opening range every day, and you're gonna get most likely break out of that range every day. So that is, I think, one positive thing about this setup. Now, your stats need to let you know. Okay, is it profitable for you, and should it be what you're doing? And I'm glad that trade with Sakib is saying 1-to-1 RR on M5 works for him. So great on that. And you're welcome, Scheider. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So let me keep seeing. You said you were gonna bring up something on the speech.
I'm just seeing here, but we have nothing actually. So it means, as you mentioned, it is gonna be muted. So yeah,
We'll
we
see.
don't have any reddish type of news or folder. So it is gonna be muted only. Yeah.
We'll see. Well, it's getting a little animated right now. So let's see. Fed
Yeah.
Powell affirms that he's dedicated to returning inflation to 2% long term. So we'll see. He's also saying that Powell states that expected risks to large balance sheet have not materialized. So, all right, that means that things are looking a little bit more positive. He supports the idea that there is validity to certain concerns. Man, that guy is not saying anything. On one side, he's saying validity to concerns, and then on the other side, he's saying
Yeah.
risk have not materialized. So that's why we're getting those moves, guys. We're getting it to move up, and then it's moving back down. When the news is going on, things can things can be very iffy. But we did see
Yeah.
some
It is
buying
50-50, guys.
coming. Yeah,
50-50.
that's the saying of the day. It's 50-50 everywhere.
50-50.
50-50 everywhere. And speak of not FOMOing into trades, you see if we've thought, hey, this is probably going to keep moving down. Well, no, it's reverting back up. So this is, if you're looking on a higher time frame, maybe on a 5-minute, this looks like a textbook liquidity sweep. So we had those previous lows, we sweep the lows, and we're reverting back to the upside. And I like this momentum, because if this momentum continues and it is strong, I think we could definitely go target at least this previous pocket right there, and why not those opening highs? And if we really get going, then we can take those London highs, and I would be very happy because my friend Samir would
Yeah.
come out
I
on
want
top.
that. I
So
want the
this would
London
be
highs today.
this would be a great day where I was short, you were long, and we both were profitable.
I think that is a beautiful thing about trading.
Yep,
You can be short, I can be long. We still can make money on the both side. So
definitely.
there is no right or wrong way. If the thing is working for you, I think that is it.
It is. It is. I'm glad that we can showcase this
Yeah,
to
that
the
is a
traders, and they can see that, hey, we had the same idea. We entered the trade in a similar fashion, right? You decided, since you're holding long term, you're gonna hold your trade, right? And
Hmm.
since I'm trading on a much shorter time frame, because this account I only traded live, and I traded it offline a couple of times. I'll come clean, but most of the time, 90% of the time, I trade it live, because I want to show the traders. And the great thing there is you saw how I flipped my bias. I explained why. I took the short. I got out of the short, came out profitable, and Samir didn't budge. He held his idea, and I think that's great. That shows you professional trading. It's not because one trader is doing something, one person is doing something, that you need to do it too. And it's totally possible for us with different directions to both come out on top. So I think it's great for us to be
Yeah,
able to
that was
showcase
a
showcase this live. Yep.
really good point. So I think that is wonderful thing if you think about it. Nobody is doing this type of thing in the industry, and the value we are providing, that is awesome. If I was seeing this as a viewer, I think that was really good, seeing
Yeah.
real side of trading.
Indeed. We're not showing anything fake there here. We're not showing you, Lamborghinis and
Yeah.
trades that always work out picture perfect. I mean, it is so rare for a trade to be picture perfect. I mean, it happens sometimes, yes, where you enter and then it goes immediately in your favor the second you enter, and then it just takes off. That happens sometimes, but it's rare. It doesn't happen
Yeah,
very often. So
exactly.
yeah, definitely a lot of value there, and yeah, I like that we're showing the real deal. We're showing the real deal, and
Exactly.
the traders can appreciate it and see the reality of trading. So we've looked at multiple intraday setups. We're gonna take a quick look at gold again, just to see what it was
Okay, let's
doing.
take a look. Yeah.
Since we're talking about futures, let me just share my screen again.
Oh, we are getting the reaction from that area that I have marked. That is amazing. Let's see what
uh,
if we have any pattern.
let's
Okay.
let's go back to your screen then, so you can share, because I remember you had a nice
Yeah.
you were sharing the nice setup here on
So
gold.
here I marked for you guys liquidity move, and then a possibility of gold going to the upside, going to the 3 minute, 1 minute. We do have some kind of breakout like this. I do like this. If you want to enter in gold, then definitely I think this can be the place. Stop loss can be. We don't want gold to go below this, so covering a little bit of area. So I think that can be good setup here.
Yep,
1 is to
interesting setup
1.7. Yeah.
there. We are tapping into the area where we were, you know, we were being held down all morning today. We were able to break out of it, but now we're back under it. If you kind of zoom out a little bit on the
Okay.
left here, no, where you were, you could go zoom back in. Sorry.
Maybe you can share your screen. You can.
No problem, no problem.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, I like Samir says, so right here this morning, we kind of, they were holding it down, holding it down, holding it down all the way here. We saw, selling here at the 40, 45, 75 more or less, selling here. Then we broke out of this, and then we got shut down again. Now we're retesting this previous area of consolidation. And I'm practically sure if I put a volume profile, we are going to see that the point of control is right there. So we want to see if we can hold this area. And if it gets shut down, like Samir says, we can definitely get a pullback there. And that's what I was looking for when I took my trade this morning. When this broke down, I was looking for a deeper pullback. So we'll see if we can get it or not. But yeah, we'll find out. But as we mentioned this morning, to this week, all this week, we're going to be talking about finding intraday opportunities. Each trader here is going to show how he can, how he approaches the market, how he trades intraday. Intraday means during the day. So
Yeah.
we're scalping, we're taking either quick 5, 10, 15, 30 minute holds like I'm doing, or maybe you're doing longer term, couple hours long like
Yeah, a
Samir
little
is
bit.
doing. Exactly. So there's definitely many ways to approach the market intraday. We talked about the ORB, and then Samir touched on his fair value gaps and how he approaches the market, which I thought was very interesting. And we're gonna keep doing this all week, guys. We're gonna talk to Jane, to Steve, and see how they approach the market. And yeah, we're about 5 minutes until the end of the show. I don't want to. I don't know if you want to do a quick run over what you talked about when it comes to your setup, Samir.
Okay. So yes. So
Let me just
I'm
share your
gonna give
screen.
you. Okay. I'm gonna tell you why I entered US 30 longs once again. So okay, my one-to-one is there. So first thing is first for me, the 4 hour areas, which is support and resistance areas. Then I look at daily candle, how the daily candle is performing. We was printing bullish today, going to the 4 hour. We was somewhere close to the support area. And then I look at some kind of confluence, and the areas that I use for confluence is simple: some liquidity areas, some fair value gaps, or some order blocks. In this case, price came to the 1 hour order block, liquidated just slightly. And why I was having a line here, because there was also the fair value gap of the 2 hour. So once price tapped that area, I got to the 1 minute, saw a trend line breakout, which was here. Very good volume candle, as you can see. And there was also RSI, which was showing some divergence. So I was having a couple of confirmations here. I don't like to trade off of one idea. I do like to have multiple confluences if I want to take a trade. So in this particular area, I was having multiple confluences. And if you see, my stop loss is also below this area. You know
Yep.
why? Because if price tested the support, which is 4 hour support, I still will be protected. So this was my thought process behind this trade. And so far, we are, let me see how much R we are getting. We are like 60% in my favor. Price has moved 60% in my favor. So I think if we break this, it will be wise to move our stop losses to break even. So we need a closure above this. I think this, if this 1 minute candle closed above this, then I will be moving it to break even. But so these are the concepts I use on a day-to-day basis, which is very simple: support, resistance, little bit of trend analysis, and some liquidity areas. And I enter off of 1 minute trendline breakouts or some kind of patterns. Oh, we are
Nice.
having beautiful momentum here, guys,
Nice.
and that is amazing. I would like to secure the position on one account. I'm up like a decent amount. So on my the Fivers CFD account, I made around 2%. So I'm done for the
Ooh,
day.
nice.
And the futures account, I'm still holding, guys, at least to one, because that is evaluation. On the Fivers account, it is live account. So I want to secure the money. I don't care about risk to reward or whatever. If I'm seeing decent amount on my screen, I want to end the day green so that I can sleep peacefully.
I
So
like that.
yeah.
I like that. We like to sleep peacefully.
Yeah.
I am, there are people that are not fans of moving stops to break even, et cetera, et cetera. Everybody has their opinion on that. I am personally a big proponent of moving your stops to break even. Of course, when it makes sense, not, you're not entering and panicking, and then if it moves 1 point in your favor, you move to break even. But when you're, 40, 50, 60% into the trade, you have the asset has done some significant pullbacks and continued to move in your favor. Hey, secure the profit. The market,
I think that
again,
is
I
the
always say,
wisest thing you can do.
yeah, you're securing your payroll, and then maybe you'll get the bonus. But we need that payroll. We need that payroll to stay alive and to keep, to secure the profits. It doesn't make sense, in my opinion, to have a trade already working in your favor and then have it all retrace back and stop you out. It can stop you out break even. You can always re-enter when it makes sense, right? So on that note, since we're 1 minute, we have 1 minute left. I don't know if Samir has one last thing to say to the viewers before
The
we
last
finish
thing,
this live.
yeah. So before we finish this live, I want to touch on one thing. I'll take just 1 minute. I try to focus on my trading plan, whatever my trading plan is saying. I want to execute on that with as much perfection as I can. I want to execute that trade there. So I want you guys to have a trading plan and just execute on it. Try to be master in the execution, and I think with time your decision making will improve. So closing words will be always follow your trading plan, be a disciplined trader. If you do that thing for 6 months, your foundation is going to be unbeatable. I think you will have quick success, this way, if you stay disciplined. I think that is the cheat code in trading. Stay
Yep.
disciplined and follow your trading plan, guys. With that being said, I'll see you in the next stream.
Nice. Thank you, Samir. Always a pleasure having you. That was wise advice, guys. Stay disciplined and follow your plan, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Yeah, take care, guys. Bye bye.